right? So we're trying to get back to that, what's called the Urtext. That's a German word, U-R-Text, the original text. In this case, the Urtext of Shem Tov, when he copied it in around 1380. So you're comparing and checking these different manuscripts and looking for the differences. And what you're looking for is errors. And you're trying to figure out, okay, if this is an error, if there's 20 manuscripts and 15 of them read one thing and 5 of them read another, and one of those seems like it's an error, then you go with the ones that make sense, right? Now, sometimes you don't. There's a principle in textual criticism called difficile or lectio. The more difficult reading is preferable. And why would it doesn't even make sense. Why would that be? Why would the more difficult reading be preferable? Because it's the nature of copyists to try to make things easier. So it's true copyists make mistakes all the time, but it's also the nature of copyists to see something they don't understand and say, okay, I'll fix this. And to fix what weren't really mistakes, what was intended in the first place. And the reason I call this Howarding, and I think it's why you call it Howarding, is really goes back to the book I wrote, The Hebrew Yeshua versus the Greek Jesus. So in the Hebrew Yeshua versus the Greek Jesus, Matthew 23, it says, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, all therefore that they bid you observe, that observe and do. And you look in the Hebrew text, and instead of all therefore that they bid you, it says something to the effect, it's been years, so I'm paraphrasing it here. You can read it for me, Matthew 23, verse 2 and 3 in the Howard's text. But in the Hebrew, it says, Kol asher yomar lachem, all that he says to you, diligently do. And what Howard naturally does is he says to you. Who's the he? Obviously, this is a mistake, and it's supposed to be all that they say to you. And indeed, many manuscripts have they say to you. So he fixes it. Why does he fix it? Because the other version makes no sense to him. It sounds like gibberish. And if it's gibberish, you got to, that happens in manuscripts. There's a mistake. Fix the mistake. We call that Howarding the text.
So Nehemia. So here we have Howard. On the left side, we've got Hebrew. On the right side, we have English. This is where he Howards it. On the left, sometimes it's right there.
So in the Hebrew on the left, it says all that Yomar, that he says.
Yes.
And on the right, it says they in parentheses. Now, here's the beautiful thing about that example. So I have a testimony from a gentleman named Ross Nichols, who went to a conference where he heard Professor Howard speak. And Howard spoke about this passage. And Nichols raised his hand and he said, well, he says, and this is before I even heard of Shem Tov's Hebrew Matthew or this whole issue of Matthew 23. This was years before that. He says, well, Professor Howard, but what if it is he says, referring to Moses? And Howard said, I never thought of that.
Okay.
So because he never thought of it, he fixed he fixed the text, air quotes, fixed thereby he corrected it, right? So this is interesting. We talk about the difficult version is preferable sometimes. Right. The difficult reading is preferable. And that's because something scribes in the Middle Ages had a tendency to do, which was fix the text, i.e. change it to fit their preconceptions and understanding. Well, modern scholars do that too. And we've called that Howarding the text. And now I think Keith is about to expose me.
So
Howarding the text.
So there are times, I'm going
you must not share this.
I'm going to show letter by letter, hours, letter by letter. And what I want to say about that, Nehemia, is you gave me a chance to do something that I just wouldn't have had an opportunity to do had you not provided it. And he's like, okay, Keith, your job is to go behind me and go letter by letter, learning the cursive in that particular manuscript. There's so many different cursive.
Or semi-cursive.
Semi-cursive. But then I thought to myself, I wonder if there's ever been a time where Nehemia has done this, outside. And I just happened to bring this. This is the Gospel of Matthew according to the primitive Hebrew text. If you haven't watched episode 22 or 23, we talked about this. This was the first thing that Nehemia sent me. And so in preparation for episode 19, I opened this up just for fun.
And to put it in context, I sent you that sometime in the early 2000s.
Oh, it was a long time ago. So I thought to myself, I wonder if there's ever an example where the scribe, Nehemia, Howard, whoever, would actually do a note or anything. And so it's now time for us to go to episode, this is happening in real time, folks. We are at episode number 20, what?
What are we on? What is this
episode?
Episode 26.
26. And we're reading from Matthew 5:19, which was a game changer for
What
me.
page is this?
This is page number 19. Can you tell me there's some writing over the top of this, Nehemia?